My name is DJ Alan McCoy. This is Mental Breaks, a spiritual podcast where we talk about different virtues, principles, mindsets, characteristics of ourselves, people, places, things, everything and anything, in correlation to our lives. And on today's episode, we have
Lee
Lee
Bennett.
Bennett, Bazinga,
Bazinga. What's
and
that?
we're here talking about authenticity and connection. And if you would, Mr. Lee, explain a little bit about that, or why you think,
Authenticity. This is important. For anybody who is willing to accept who they really are. It really means a lot to yourself if you can stop yourself and understand and figure out what authenticity is. Um, Authenticity is a state of being who you really are, and it's in recovery. It's really important to have that because you don't want to transition into recovery and start that journey thinking that you have to change yourself or be somebody that you're
very
not.
much so.
Right. So the same person you were when you were addicted and drinking alcohol, using drugs, to whatever, sex addict, whatever you're addicted to, that you felt like that changed who you were. Well, it doesn't. You are exactly you're the same person. You're just not in the same circumstances. You're not making the same choices. You shouldn't let that define, who you are. So when you go into recovery, you need to keep in mind that you need to try to, of course, we all try to get back to who we really are. And then I hear a lot of people always say, "Oh, I'm not who I used to be. That was me in the past." No. I don't. It's just my opinion, but I don't believe that. I believe you were exactly who you were. Like I said, you just made this. You made choices that made you think, "Oh, I would have never made them choices if I was so and so, or if I was doing this or doing that." And you know, let's see. It means knowing your internal signals for when something is a yes or no, and being honest with yourself and other people, and being honest with yourself. That part, that's that's allowing yourself to understand, like, and be honest with yourself. Like, okay, that was me who fucked up. That was me who made them choices. You take full responsibility. You're true to yourself. So you have to keep being true to yourself going into your recovery and anything else that you're approaching in your life. Which in turn, that's gonna really define who you are. It's really gonna show you how much more to you there is than what you think there is, or what you thought there was.
Yeah, I've gone through some similar things like that where it's like there'd be like I'd be faced with a life event, and I could see myself and feel myself deciding which way to go. Do I want to act out of like anger, or what I mean, and become who I don't want to be, or like act in love, tolerance, whatever, and be more along the lines of who I believe I am supposed to be and am. And it's like when I do make the wrong decisions, I've tried to like in the past, like I've had to twist my own thinking into making it seem like that was who I was, and it was okay for me to become, that basically what I was doing was I was allowing outside circumstances to change me internally. Into something something and someone that I wasn't. That was a huge.
Like I see a lot of people in recovery, in meetings, or in other groups, in other aspects or whatever. But some people lack the authenticity, so they go in there and they want to be liked, and they want to fit in so well that they'll mold themselves into the very group they're hanging out with. Birds of a feather flock together. I hear people say that all the time. I don't get that. Like, yeah, sure, in some things that can fit, but no, you shouldn't want to be so different just to fit in. And if you're doing it for all the wrong reasons, then I feel like you're really stealing from you're stealing from yourself from what you could really have, like the knowledge of it and stuff like that. You're slacking
Yeah.
yourself. I'm a bit off words here.
No, I get it. I hear you.
Like it's right, it's on my head, like, and I don't want to steer.
Like we
anybody
short ourselves
wrong.
of our true character.
We short ourselves,
I mean?
yes, and like like you're robbing yourself of so many
Yeah.
chances, so many other things. That feeling of greatness, like, oh man, like this is what it's like to be me and be accepted.
Yeah.
Because whether they realize it or not, you're most likely to be more accepted being who you are, especially in AA meetings and recoveries. Like, we don't pass judgment there. Everybody's sick. We're all the same, different stories. So I really think it costs you more than anything else.
Yeah.
I think it's like a survival instinct. I've done it.
Yeah. I mean, like when I was in prison, right? Or just really right when I first got locked up, it was a survival mechanism, right? It was a survival instinct where it was like, because I got locked up in New Jersey. I had spent 2 days in the state. Didn't know anyone. Was fucking homeless, just fucking backpacking through the country. And got locked up on a gun charge, and they put me in the holding cell. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, oh shit. Like my whole life felt like kind of crumbling down upon me. And I just kind of started looking and I promptly and quickly observed everything and made the best choices, to be able to survive, which I think. And that was in a dangerous place. So that's to be expected. You know what I mean? Which is kind of an excuse. You know what I mean? Let's be real. But I feel like more so on the outside, right? Like people in general, we still do that in in just a natural, at work, at jobs, at friend groups, coffee shops, wherever we kind of go. It's like we conform to society a lot of the times, you know what I mean? And then we make choices to ourselves to become, basically like sheeple. You know what I mean? To be led, to be followers, because it's an easier, softer route than going against the grain and being who we really want to be. Because a lot of the times, in the U.S., I feel most of us were raised.
That's worldwide. That is, in my opinion, I don't want to cross any political or media outrage or anything, but that is one of the main problems right now. We are more of a world of followers than we are leaders, and it's gonna take those people to step out of your comfort zone and literally be the most authentic people. If you want to, it's like they say, if you want to change the world, be a part of the change.
Yeah.
Literally, being authentic is what turned my life around. Not just all the other principles, but it also transitioned me into a full-fledged journey into recovery. Was realizing that my whole entire life, and this goes out to anybody who's ever, the ones listening right now, I can tell you, I'm 29 years old, and it took me 28 years to figure it out. It took me 28 years because I didn't have the knowledge, or I was too scared and stuff. I literally spent my whole life trying to be anything and everying that pleased people. Whether I had whatever I had to do to fit in, I did it. I lied to myself. I was scared. I was creeping in the shadows to pray because I did. You don't want to go around your buddies and be like, oh, well, I didn't want to make it I didn't want to feel weak. I didn't want to feel outcasted. I thought that if I just acted the way they did, then I'd be in abundance of friends and be loved, and that's a false that's a false realization, like a false reality, like, and I mean, it almost sends you into living a double life.
100%.
Like,
Having to walk in a room and figure out what kind of mask we're putting on. I mean, who we're going to try to portray, what character, who are we when we walk into a room based on who's in the room.
And it tortured me.
Horrible.
Like I said for years and years and years of like, oh, it was her, or oh, it's him. Like, y'all are the ones that ruined my life. And really, yeah, maybe they had some blame there, but the first point of blame was myself, because you allowed that to happen. All you got to do is be yourself. All you got to do is step back and be like, well, they're not bringing anything into my life that's worth having around. They're bringing the type of energy that I allow. I mean, the door open. Like when somebody knocks on your door, they're knocking. It's your choice to let them in. And when I realized for the very first time that, you know what, I am sick and tired. I am done being what I know to be the fakest version of me. Like, I'm not gonna hide it anymore. I came into the most amazing relationships, friendships, and yeah, that's all cool and all. That was great. The best feeling, one of the best feelings I ever had. But the best feeling was being so in love with the fact that I had the courage to do so.
Come on. Yeah.
So, and then that whole 28 years of being scared was like a smack in my face. It was like, oh man, you wasted 28 years being scared, and not 2 months into it, I was like, well, this is one of the greatest things of my life. I can be in a room by myself, set in complete darkness, and just be at peace with myself. I can find there. I have all the things that I used to tell people all the time. It's like, I'm not an interesting person. There's nothing about me interesting. I don't blame people for not wanting anything to do with me. I don't blame people for, thinking I'm boring. Or like there's I used to think there's a reason that I don't have an abundance of friends and just all these great connections and all this stuff you see the world having and that you want, when in reality they got the same issues and stuff. But and then once I did that, I realized that you can literally almost have all those amazing things if you just allow yourself to be happy with yourself. Be who you really are. Be authentic. It doesn't matter if you fit in with that group. Maybe that group's not for you. You're trying to fit in with a group that's not for you. Then maybe go find somebody else. Go find another group. Go. Things ain't working out with the girl that you once was interested in. Move
find
on.
your tribe. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Find the people and the places and the things that's gonna bring you the most joy in life. And that connection. It does. I would say it's not just gonna happen like that. It's not just you're not gonna wake up one morning and just be truly embraced in yourself. It may take you time. It may happen overnight. I don't know. But if you don't give yourself that opportunity to sit down, find an understanding of how to be authentic, and allowing yourself to give it the ultimate try, then you're never gonna find out. And then you have all the right to say, oh well, I just can't. You can't because you don't. And I think that's where you lose connection too. Like if you're trying so hard to be somebody you're not, or you're trying so hard to fit in, you're trying so hard in recovery, you're trying so hard for the wrong reasons, then you're gonna lose that connection. And I've had a few friends here lately who has lost that connection and relapsed, and then called me up and like, man, everything was getting to me. I didn't know who to talk to, and I'm like, well, who do you talk to when things are great? Your higher power, God, whoever that is, whatever. to be grateful for the great good things, you have to be willing to be thankful for the bad
100%.
things. You can't just have the good and not the bad. So when things ain't going your way and you feel like you have nobody to talk to, but for the 2 weeks you got a raise, you got a promotion in your job, got a new girlfriend, bought a motorcycle, whatever, you pulled some wins out and you're sitting here thanking God. Thank you God for all these things. And then the next 2 weeks, they upped your car payment. You got a demotion. You wrecked your vehicle, or you got, whatever it may be. All them losses we take. You need to be thanking God for that too. You should be thanking God or your higher power, your divine.
Yeah. Yeah, with the kind of the connection that you're talking about, and like for me, like what I've tried to like the people that I want to be connected with, as far as like people wise, like it's the connection that I seek is based on purpose, values, principles, morals, like actual behaviors that I see them doing on a day-by-day basis. You know what I mean? People who are walking.
How do they represent themselves?
People who are walking the life that I want to live, because I'm looking for people that are like-minded, who are trying to move forward in their lives, who are building themselves up, and whether it be, physical, financial. It doesn't, like, I could be like, I got my this guy Dylan, right? Like he's been through the ringer. You know what I mean? We met a while back, probably like a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago. No, about a year ago. And like solid dude, like he's been through the ringer and whatnot. And like his journey has been, heavily, I would say more so in line with the physical aspect, where he's like really disciplining himself in the, in a mental way. You know what I mean? Like he's really trying to work on his mind, and like he's one of the people, like we don't see each other, physically all the time, but like, we're in communication, and like, we like, you know what I mean? And then like, my sponsor, like he's heavily rooted in financial and business and service and stuff. And it's like, okay, so it's like aligning myself with those types of people has allowed me to kind of like have the ability and to be able to focus on myself, because these were always the aspects that I was trying to incorporate, you know what I mean? Just self-motivation, self-work, looking at myself, disciplining myself, becoming the best version of me that I really could be. And when I was surrounding myself with people that were using, people, places, and things to change the way they felt, you know what I mean? Which is a similar aspect of what, these people are doing in my life today, but it's out of a selfish motive, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't like the way I feel, I'm going to go grab this to make me feel better. And those were the type of people, like, I fucking hated myself. I was connected to a lot of people, but it was just, I was still miserable at the end of the day. But like, now kind of changing my perspective and changing the people and finding, like, when I feel like shit, I'm calling one of these people that are working on themselves. You know what I mean? And I'm like, they're like, yo, like, what the fuck's going on with you? Da, 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 da. Oh, you overthinking? It's like, yeah. Like the other day, like, I missed my first workout of the day, and I'm headed to the gym, and I'm sitting there fucking just pissed at myself because, like, I felt, I was doing, like, some self-reflection. I was, like, turned the radio off, and I was just like, what the fuck have I been doing? I've been wasting my life. I've been da-da-da-da-da.
You have to do that, though. You have to set yourself down and humble yourself. I did that last week. I spent a whole week just like, man, what the fuck is going on with me? But that's okay. Like, you're not going to go in this and just spend every day with it on your mind. You're not going to be just working the steps and working. Or you're going to have them days where you're going to be exhausted, whether you're exhausted. But the very fact that you can sit down and be like, hey, what the fuck is going on with me? That's good. You're teachable. You're learnable. You know that there's something going on, and you're willingly
taking a look inside myself
to fix it. Exactly.
That's where the shit's at. I mean, that's wrong. That's
That's
where
that
my fucking
shit.
toxic shit is. Fucking sitting inside me, just waiting. Like, come on, like, sit down for a second. Let me fucking jump in there. Bow.
We all have the emotions. You're not gonna get rid of anger, depression, sadness. You have all that. Happiness, angry, sadness. It's gonna come. You're gonna have bad days and good days. The question is, what are you willing to do this time different than you did last time when you come across a situation like that? And that's what recovery also does. It doesn't just teach you how to live your life sober and fruitfully. It teaches you other areas in your life how to control situations. If you cannot control them, having the courage, the Serenity Prayer. I walk right into the Serenity Prayer. Grant me the ability to change the things I can. We're gonna have to cut that.
It'd be all right. Y'all figure it out. Y'all know it. If not, Google it.
I don't went blank. I don't went blank.
Grant me serenity.
Grant me the serenity
to
to
cannot
accept the
change.
things.
Courage to change things I can.
Courage to change the
And the
things.
wisdom to know the
The
difference.
wisdom to know the difference. That part. The wisdom to know when to walk away and when to approach a situation. When to let it go. When to handle it. That's my favorite part of that. And knowledge is power. The more you put yourself into it, the more power over yourself you'll have.
Yeah. So, in your journeys, right? In your time on this world, like, how do I say this? Kind of like, has there been any like specific barriers or like more so fears, I guess, that have hindered you from like being or embracing like your full authentic self and like
I've just now discovered
you know
my
what I mean,
authentic
like,
self. And I can humbly say here and say today that there ain't many things I'm not authentic
okay,
about.
good.
When somebody asks me something, I immediately, in my head, in my brain, I immediately go to the truth.
Yeah,
There's nothing trying to cover it up.
there's no need
Because the moment I do that, I'm right back to
Yeah.
step one.
going backwards.
Fears.
Everything you want is on the other side of fear.
There's not enough time on this earth to talk about my fears. And that's what set me back, set me down. Like being afraid to do something will stop everything in your life. It'll keep you from chasing after your dreams. It'll keep you from making that next step. And it could be God's plan is for you to take that next step. But like I've been so scared sometimes. Like fuck that. I know that where that leads me, but in reality, and the truth of the matter is, you don't know where that's gonna lead you. You could take 5 bad steps, but that 6th step is gonna be achievement. We don't know that.
So what are some ways that you've that you've been learning or practicing or that you've been shown kind of how to overcome some of those fears, or like your process of overcoming?
Let's see. I would say just take the risk.
Okay.
Take the risk. Take the action. Read about it. Understand it. Do whatever it takes so that you get the best understanding. For me, like moving to Nashville. I sat for the longest and was and I weighed the pros and cons. That was the most dangerous part for me, because if you sat there and weigh the pros and cons, and you don't like what you see,
we'll sit. We'll stay stuck.
We'll sit. Yeah.
Bless.
When in reality,
yeah.
I mean,
go fucking figure.
it's either go or don't. It's
You ever feel like if we just didn't think and we just acted continuously and just continued to act, like we'd be where we wanted to be in fucking. I think there's
you would be following your destiny. You would be following fate or God's plan.
I think it's like, yeah, okay. So there's 2 ways where it's like if you say the next 30 things that someone asks you to do, right? If you tell them no and you do what you would rather do instead, right? And then also the other aspect of that is if you say yes to the next 30 things that you want to do. You know what I mean? It's hard. Like the more we practice those two aspects, where it's like not serving others but serving ourselves instead. You know, it gets a little fucking complicated, a little iffy, and it's like we compound on ourselves and become better versions. Where it's like, holy shit.
You know, if you make the choice and it doesn't work out, then that's your consequences. To me, I accept that. I know that if the choice is made by my hand, then if there's any consequences behind this stuff, I'm fully prepared to accept them. If you let somebody else make your choice for you, and the consequences are bad, I mean, you're gonna be hot shit. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be upset. You're gonna be shameful. You're gonna be in full regret, and you're gonna be like, well, you know, I didn't even make that choice for myself. But you allowed somebody else to make that choice for you.
That's hard to live with. You know what I mean? It's the regret, like the pain of like, damn, like I could have done better. I could be better, but like I wasn't willing to believe in myself, type shit. You know what I mean? And I've gone through that in recovery. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, it was a huge learning process, and like I use it as fuel today. You know what I mean? To not give not to give myself to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like I'm me for me. You know what I mean? Like I can share myself with someone like 70-30, you know what I mean? Like I'm keeping 70, I'll give you 30 of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to allow yourself to have more time for yourself.
Me, myself, and I, number one priority right there.
And, you know, there's so many people that they talk big game. They talk about wanting it, needing it. If you're not willing to follow through, if you're not willing to accept who you are, be the real version of you, and do the work, and then ultimately you're going to fail. And you're going to relapse, or you're going to slip. I see a lot of people there's a lot of places and a lot of things and a lot of groups, a lot of different people that are out there trying to do the best they can. There's people that's using their knowledge and capabilities to try to teach these people and stuff like that. But what I don't see a lot of is them also teaching them, try to teach them to have the mental capability, that mindset. If you don't have mental power, then they're not going to understand what the hell you're saying. You need to teach them to understand. You need to teach them to put their mind into it.
I think that there was a little bit of that going back on one of my earlier podcasts with JP. I think we were just talking about just generalized spirituality, and like it was kind of like a back and forth where we were playing with each other and but like it was all out of love. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like I love conversations like that where we're just kind of like bouncing ideas off each other, but we're continuously growing. And like it's because I think like he was like where he was at and where I was at, we could remove fear because we knew that we were both just trying to grow. You know what I mean? Coming from complete different backgrounds where like we just don't know what's going on in the other person's real life and like all these things.
That's the hardest thing for men to do, is to be emotional with each other. And you have to do
the vulnerability, dude.
Men have to start being more emotional with each other, and because we're actually in this together. And you know, there's a certain type of connection between guys that you're not gonna find. I mean, with a male and a female, it's different. And allowing yourself to be vulnerable will also allow healing.
Yeah.
it'll allow yourself to just get it out. Yeah, we're all sick. Some are sicker than others. And man, there's just so much I want to say about it. And
like, I don't like to acknowledge my like the good things about me. You know what I mean? Which, like, you know, could possibly be like a bad thing in my life. You know what I mean? But like, cause like I'm not attracting those type of people to fucking make the good parts of me better. Like, I guess, you know, and that actually kind of makes sense because I was reading a book and they was talking about that. Like, the things that I don't like, what I've been doing a lot is looking at the parts of me that are the weakest, and I'm choosing more so to focus and double down on those areas more so, because like I don't want my weak points to stay weak forever. You know what I mean? I'd rather be able to build those up to where you know, at day one, like my weakest aspect will eventually be my strongest. And then, like, once it's my strongest, then I could actually look at, like, what on day one was my strongest asset. And then, you know, at day 5,006, you know what I mean, when my weakest is now my strongest aspect, I'll be able to look back on day one and be like, what was my strongest asset back then? And then it'll be now my weakest, and then start the whole freaking cycle of, you know what I mean, kind of back in. But continuing the, like, the daily disciplines of where I got to, you know what I mean, to build myself up, you know, just in a reverse order, but still keep all of those same disciplines moving forward. So it's like just the consistent state of evolution and guidance, and just really becoming like a better version in every aspect of my life, and then therefore like just bringing more and more people around me that are also on the same path, and then eventually we all just elevate to certain levels where like we're just doing things that we just didn't even think we'd be able to do, you know, 2 years ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, or ever.
And that builds confidence. Like having boundaries for yourself. You know, you're gonna be introduced to a lot of hate. Some people's not gonna like it, but
It's their problem.
you know, you asked me what are some of the things that I practice to change that, and that was it. I stuck to my boundaries, and I
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't allow. You know, I didn't allow I didn't take them down for the people that were begging me to, or that had an issue with it. And
Yeah.
you know, there were
Well, they gonna be pissed.
there were
Like, nah, too bad, bro.
there were some, you know, that came at me pretty sideways and was, you know, and then try to make me feel guilty, or, you know, try to make me feel bad about it, or, you know, just said what they could, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm sorry, you know. Well, you know, and they'll be like, oh, well, I guess you're just gonna have to live life without me. Well, I guess so.
Fun fact, I've barely had them in my life.
What can I do about that? You know,
Blessed be.
If I take them boundaries down, then I'm exactly who I was before. And you have to have boundaries, and if you want to be successful and, you know, rise to the place in life you want to be, then you're gonna have to keep certain people around from you, and keep certain people in your around you. I mean, and in truth, and when you know, I had a few of them. They realized I wasn't gonna move, and I wasn't gonna break from that boundary, which only made them love me that much more. They understood. Oh, okay, you're serious. Yeah, I'm serious. This is my life. The day I spend another day not being serious about it, I could be dead. You know,
I have a responsibility to myself and who I believe that I'm supposed to be, and like
exactly.
I lived so long without a level of belief, or just really believe. You know what I mean? Like just belief in general. Like belief was not part of my mind. You know what I mean? It was a distant thought. It was something out so far out in fucking left and or maybe right field. It was just out in the outfield. You know what I mean? That I was just existing. I was just there. And, upon finding it, it's become my identity. And, like, if I give that up, I'm back to nothing. And I refuse. Not even out of, what's owed to me. You know what I mean? If more so about what I can do for others. You know what I mean? Because you'll see a lot of like businessmen who like have podcasts or fucking YouTube channels or whatever, and like they're trying to teach people on how to go about becoming a businessman, or they'll do seminars and try to teach people, and then some of them will get mad when when their students become better than them and more successful, and then all of a sudden, like if that happens for me, you know what I mean?
Their goal is not what they say
like,
it is.
like I'm like, bro, like if I teach somebody everything that I know and they become better than me in every freaking aspect, that's a fucking win.
That's a successful
That's my
win.
purpose.
That's
Evolution.
the purpose. Why teach them if you're not willing to understand it? You can change it. I mean, why try to change somebody's life and then their life changes and then you're upset about it?
Like, ooh,
I get that.
And it's like,
people are quick to get jealous of people that succeed. And
it's like there's been a lot of people that have talked shit about me, right? And talked shit about my back, behind my back, and all this stuff and whatnot. And there's a saying, I've never seen somebody that's winning that's taking time to leave negative comments. You know what I mean? Now, like, I'll make some negative posts, but they're only negative because people choose to believe it, like, take it that way. Because what I'm doing is I'm looking at their reality from a black and white standpoint and looking at, like, life from a definite fucking, like, standpoint. You know what I mean? And, like, I was at work the other day, and, like, one of my bosses was like, life's not black and white. We can't just butt it out. I was sitting there in the corner like, bullshit, you can see my Facebook.
yeah. I shared this July 12th. It is more blessed to give than receive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody who was more hype receiving than they were giving. You know, it's great. It's amazing. I love free shit. Like, you tell me you want it? Fuck yeah, I want it. What are you talking about? But I've never experienced the same feeling receiving that I have when I'm giving.
Yeah.
You know, whether whatever I say makes sense to anybody, it's the fact that I'm willing to sit in this chair and try to do whatever I can, say whatever I can to pass it along to somebody else who may need to hear it, to help them in any crisis or situation. That's enough for me. I don't need any money. I don't need any likes. I don't need any satisfaction other than this guy or this chick took this knowledge and in some way applied it to herself or himself, and it helped them for the better.
So. You know what I mean?
Because the part of the world I want to be in is the part that's trying to change it for the better.
It's like,
because at the end of the day, we're all on this rock together. If the stock market crashed, if the electricity,
I'm gonna be pissed, dude. I'm like, what the fuck?
If the electricity, stopped working, if all the necessities and the tools that we use today, if the media died off, if they shut Facebook down, we would all have to rely on physical communication, talking to each other.
You know what I mean? And like
that's gonna force us to express our emotions physically, in person, face to face.
And like, dude, like when I was using, right, like I was so cut off from that. You know what I mean? Like just just the connection of of another person, like I couldn't stand it anymore. Like there was just like I couldn't go to Walmart. I go to Walmart, fucking just smoke in the parking lot for 2 hours and go home. But like, fuck Walmart today, not happening. Try it again tomorrow and do the same shit, and then I was just wouldn't leave the park. Then I wouldn't leave the driveway, and I was like, nah, I ain't even going.
And you're costing who?
Myself.
Yourself.
Because I was depriving myself from growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I used to be fucking. I would not go into a gym.
Oh.
Fuck that. I walked in. I'm a little guy. I'm 5'7". You
Taller,
know,
man.
I've spent.
I'm gonna get you those
5'7"
Nike
and
pump shoes.
But you know, I used to walk in there and be like, oh, "Fuck this, dude." You know, everybody in here is fucking big and shit. And then now today, like when other people tell me that, I'm like, well, what are you worried about them for? You think they walked in like that? They walked in like you, and they put the work in. You know why that guy is fucking huge? Because he stays committed. He trained his mind to stay doing the work, adapt to the daily cycle of enhancing yourself, bettering yourself. Didn't make yourself fucking excuses. Be like, well, I'm not going because I'm little. Well, you're little because you're not going.
Yeah,
you know?
it's staying.
You're unhealthy because you smoke cigarettes.
It's staying
Stop.
in the cycle that of what we know of our comfort zone of just not.
It's the fear. It's the fear of not being able to. Well, you're able to.
Like,
I mean, dude, I seen a fucking guy with no legs in the gym, swole as fuck. You're gonna tell me, like, you're gonna tell me that you got 2 legs and 2 arms and they're just scrawny as fuck, so you can't? No.
That's one of the things that I love about my gym, like so much. Like if you ask anybody in there for help, like they're on point with it. They're like, yeah, bet. Let me show you. Like, all right, this is blah, blah, blah. And it's like just like the atmosphere of friendliness and like wanting everyone to do better. Like I think it was yesterday, the day before. There was this kid in there. He's 19, maybe 18, like real young, maybe weighed like 110 pounds. You know, I got 50, 60 pounds on him. You know what I mean? And probably about 10 years too. But like, you know, I think it was like his first or maybe second class, and that's debatable on that. And like, one of the things that I made sure to do was like to encourage him, and I was like, bro, like you were killing it out there, like. You know what I mean? Like, you were doing really good. Your technique's, like, on point. Like, how long you been doing this? And he was like, oh, this is the second day. I'm like, oh, big dog, you doing great. You gonna pick this up like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Just try to boost his confidence, like, just because he's there. You know what I mean? And it's just like...
The first step is walking in. Walking into a gym, an AA class, fucking job if you want it.
Dude,
show
like,
up.
Anyone that's got enough courage to fucking say, you know what? I'm going to go out here and try... and be willing to fail, you're him or her in my book. Like you're a success. You're one of the greats. Just by being able to willing to fail. Just by even thinking about trying. That's enough. Because it's gonna get there.
More of us need to do that.
It doesn't matter what.
Because that's that little bit of part of us that we can give out for free. It costs nothing to just give somebody a compliment. Or give them a boost of confidence. You know, tell them that, hey, you're capable and able to do this. You got this. No matter what. And the one thing I will not tolerate, I cannot stand, is to be around somebody who badmouths or, you know, who just shits on people that relapses. Addiction is a part of relapse. A relapse is a part of addiction. You know, the dude's still alive. The chick's still alive.
I heard something the other day.
Who are you to to fucking shit on them.
This
I mean, put yourself in their
he
shoes.
said. This guy said the other day,
Everybody deserves a
"I'm
second chance.
proud of you for finding something that gave you the ability to survive." Yeah, I mean, because like addiction, like drugs, substances, people, places, things, whatever whatever your chosen relapse was, like you needed it. You felt like you had to have something in order to live with what was going on in your life. You know what I mean?
You know who my favorite people are?
People pleasers.
People in
Okay,
recovery. And I'll tell you why. I'm not saying anything bad against anybody else or stereotypes or whatever. The people in recovery, they're the most humble ones, the ones with the most grace, because they know what the worst thing in the world is.
Motherfucker not believing in you and trying to drag you and throw you into the
They
fucking
have
dirt.
they have lived and seen everything that can be used to attack you emotionally and mentally. People that's never been in or around that won't understand that, because we're just sick to them. They're sick too. Everybody's sick. Everybody's got their thing they're addicted to. They won't understand the true depth of recovery and being an addict, because they never have, and that's a good thing. That's a great thing. Not shitting on it at all. If you've never had to try to overcome an addiction, God bless you.
Twice.
But if you are one of them people, I would encourage you to go to an AA
It
meeting.
was Al-Anon. Have you ever been to an Al-Anon
Yeah.
meeting?
No, I haven't.
Scary. Beautiful.
Great,
I would, wonderful.
I would encourage them to do that. Or pick up a book, read about it. Or better yet, find somebody that's in recovery and connect with them.
Ask them about their life.
Because and try to get an understanding. That'll help. In turn, in my opinion, I think that will in turn better the world. I think that would change a lot of people's outlook.
Search for understanding.
who we are.
Look for understanding rather than to be understood.
Yeah, instead of when that guy's a fucking alcoholic, maybe stop and ask him, why does that guy drink like that? Why is he waking up at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning, cracking a beer and pouring a couple shots and shit, and doing that all day until he goes to sleep? Something's wrong with him. Something's going on with him. Something in his life's got him fucked off. Upset, depressed. I just...
Support is... So this is kind of it's a topic for me, right? So I cannot fix somebody, and I don't think that is known in a lot of different communities, right? Because what it is the only person that broke me was me. So therefore, the only person that can fix me is me. You know what I mean? Like, and I can only do that through self-reflection. Like, now, granted, I use other people to help balance myself out. But if I go into any kind of relationship thinking that I can fix the other person because I believe that they are broken, I am setting that person up for pain, misery, heartache, failure, and what's going to eventually happen in my own life is I leave the situation. You know what I mean? And then I leave a hole that I tried to force that person to fill with me. You know what I mean? And then I end up leaving that person in a worse place than they were originally. And it's to just leave someone alone Like, to just be like, I really want that. That's what I want. It's shiny. It's over there. It looks good.
Yeah.
It just tastes good too. I'm gonna get it. Yeah.
That's mine. My addiction affected everyone around me. So I want my recovery to affect everyone around me.
Facts.
You know, man, when I was in the darkest areas of my addictions, the shit I was fucking doing, it's almost unfathomable. Like, man, you don't realize until you get sober that all the things you were doing when you were fucking getting high and fucking drinking and shit, you were destroying more people than you realized. People that you didn't even see on a daily basis. You were affecting so fucking much.
The amount of failed commitments, failed fucking tasks
Bro,
that I wanted.
I would, you know what I used to do? I would get fucking slap drunk, man. I would get in my truck, and I would go fucking driving, or I'd be headed home. Man, if you told me I was staying at your house, that's a challenge. Challenge accepted, motherfucker. I'm getting in my truck. You're not taking my fucking keys. I'm getting in my truck and I'm going home. That was my safe haven. So I'd get in my truck and I'd call my mom up. Hey, Mom, what's up, Mom? Hey, what the fuck? Let's talk. You know, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't give a fuck. I called her. You know what? She answered. And she never said anything till the next day. Next day she called me, but you realize you called me drunk last night. You realize what you said? No, I don't fucking remember what shit I said. But she would call me, and there were several times I hit signs. I fucking ran off in a ditch. And you know what? I didn't stop. I did that for years. I did that for 6 to 7 years, maybe total, in generality, in total. And then when I got sober and stayed sober for the first time in my whole life off alcohol, which was the very point where I realized I was an alcoholic. I was sitting there one day and I was like, man, I did the fucking worst thing I could to her. I was on the phone driving drunk as shit almost every other night, and all it could have took was a split second. Hit somebody head on, hit a fucking tree. That would have been the last conversation she had with me. She would have been on the phone and present to my death. And I was like, I did that to her. I was like, what a piece of shit, man. And you gotta think how that would leave her. Which in turn, my mom's never had. Look, my mom didn't start drinking until a couple years ago. She's not a drinker. She's a once in a fucking blue moon drinker, like it. So celebrations or whatever. But my mom's not a drinker. And in turn, that could have catapulted her to an addiction.
Very much so.
So it's like infected. You're the infected, infecting people that's not infected right now. So the numbers of us is going up. The more we fucking affect other people's, the more people we surround ourselves with, and pretend and put off like it's okay. Oh, it's okay to have a drink. No, it's not. You never know what that person's going to take from that. From 1 could become 5. From 5 could become 10. 10 to 20. 20 to 200. 200 to 2,000. 2,000 to 200,000.
Yeah.
Which is why I have loads of respect for Bob. Turn one group into 3 groups. 3 groups into 25 groups. And in turn, affected the whole world with AA. Gave us a book to go to help guide us through the steps and the tools and knowledge to recover. Loads of respect.
So, selfless service. Selfishless.
It is a service too. Powerful, that part. It is a service. If you want somebody to listen to you, first you need to understand it for yourself. Then you need to make sure that they're ready. They're ready to take that step. Because some of them they're not ready.
sometimes like the biggest things that I can do to just like help someone is just like, share their name. You know what I mean? Because like as long as it's going into a positive way, you know what I mean? Just like, hey, like, yo, check this out. Da da da. Like, like I'll support. So it's like okay, so like what's the Yeezys? Who's that dude? Kanye West? Yeah.
Kanye?
Yeah,
Yeezy?
Kanye West.
Yeah.
Kanye West makes the Yeezys, right?
Yeah, he got the
He got
Yeezy
like what,
shoes.
$500 shoes or whatever.
Yeah, they're
Right.
fucking expensive.
Will buy. Not me. Like,
Respect for Kanye, but they fucking look like shit.
people
not
will
wear
buy $500 Yeezys that look fucking like trash.
They look like
Or
prison
rip,
shoes.
bro, for real. But then that same person that bought that $500 pair of shoes will have a buddy that's trying to start a clothing business and selling shirts for $20 a pop, $30, $40, or a hoodie for $60. And they'll be like, nah, bro, I ain't got it. When he just bought a pair of Yeezys for $500. Or like, or better yet, like, won't even share dude's what do you call it? Like his clothing website on their Facebook or some shit.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? So it's like, how can we support someone who's big and made it, but we're so unwilling to, support our friend, quote unquote.
Let's put recovery on the table like the fucking Yeezys.
Come on.
Let's make that fucking Facebook
Mhm.
floods. Yeah, we do that, and then I'll buy a fucking pair of Yeezys.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Kanye. Put a cross on that shit. Put AA on them. I'll buy them.
Hell yeah.
Shit. I don't want to speak ill on anybody, but you got all these promotional powers, and then I catch you in a video talking about spirituality and humility and shit, but I don't see you promoting it. I'm gonna call you out on your shit.
Damn Skippy.
Don't bring in sales or don't bring in views like that. Stick to your own shit, your own format. Excuse my excuse my French, but I am passionate about that. Like, don't dip your toes in everybody else's format or what they believe in life. If you're just in it for the money, if you're just in to sell products and shit, sell your products. But don't make a video about how much you want to help the environment or help the world, help in recovery and all that. But I don't see anything else in your life, in your market, in your house. I don't see anything else that promotes God or recovery or you're divine or anything like that. And you rarely see that in famous.
This is very true.
It's like charity. And I'm not speaking for everyone. But if we were talking about this earlier, if you're gonna give charity when the spotlight is on you, I feel like that's a way out.
Yeah.
I feel like that's your way of making yourself feel better. But it's never gonna come close to the fact that if you take that bag of money and you take it to a kid or you take it to a hospital and you throw it on the desk, throw it on the floor in front of them, tell them this is for you.
It's like the things that like bring me the most joy, that like allow me to change my character, are things that I do when it's just me, someone that I love, and like and my higher power and shit. Like when those are the people that are around me, myself, my loved ones, my higher power, when those are the people that are around me, and I'm out in the world doing good because it's the right thing to do. Like, those are the things that I have sitting in my back pocket when the world starts to try to tell me that I'm not this type of person. I'm like, but I am.
Maybe we ain't.
You know what I mean?
But we fucking spend every day trying to be.
You know what I mean?
You don't have to be a guaranteed version of whoever they think you are.
That part. I think one of the fucking other podcasts was talking about integrity. You know what
Integrity,
I mean?
yeah.
It's like who we are when no one's looking. We can have good integrity, but we can also have bad.
Yeah, you can have a bad integrity.
And it boils down to who we are. You know what I mean? And bro, I think I left the gym earlier today. I was headed to my storage unit, or maybe to get the fucking application or whatever the fuck. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, bro, I fight myself on a daily basis to not become who I don't want to be. You know what I mean? When I'm trying to, like, just really go out of my way to help people and be of service and just try to, like, put good into the world, and I'm sitting there freaking every day fighting myself to not be a bad person. And, like, I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, this shit's fucking ass. Because, like, I get tired of fighting myself.
I'm like that when I drive. I'm an asshole when I drive. I fucking hate. Look, I cut somebody out this
Bro, I want a Tesla.
God's willing,
I fucking get, like, the next vehicle fun fact, a living amends that I'm supposed to do is I'm actually supposed to buy a Tesla. I don't want to. Like, I kind of do, but, like, I don't. You know what I mean? But, like, I would actually, it's actually kind of cool. Like, I would like to buy the Tesla, remove all the back seats out of it, and then
lay down,
like, turn it into like a conversion van type deal, like the Model X, because it's got the Falcon Wing doors.
Yeah.
But, like, so much space in the inside where, like, and then be able to, like, kind of go cross country, put solar panels on the thing, have it, like, self-sufficient Tesla, dude, where that thing be so lit.
Alan, do you just want to go in a van life?
1,000%. You've seen the inside of my truck, dude. It's just like, it's going to take one day, like, the house burns down or some shit. I'm going, guys.
We're taking this on the road, guys.
Eventually, dude. I hope so. Like, you know what I mean? And just, like, if what would make me so fucking just, like, proud of this?
No, it's not drugs.
Not drugs. Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets, not drugs. I think what people can take from this podcast and any more like this is you realize we're you. We are just like you.
All over, dude. Like, I grew up in Michigan, Tennessee, and fucking 5 different cities in Tennessee, California, spent some time in New Jersey, and, like, dude, one of these things that I've realized with all these different cities and states and people, motherfucking everybody's the same. Everybody's afraid of everybody else. We all just want to figure out who the fuck we are. We want to be our best self. We want to be all left alone, but we also want to be loved and connected with everybody. And we want to help people, and we don't want to hurt people, but we're scared because we've had people hurt us when we didn't know better, when they were just acting out on their own instincts and their own behaviors and their own survival methods. And they're all just seeking pleasure. And because of what I was attached to, I got my feelings hurt. And then it just continues to snowball into a effect of fucking shit, storm, love, hate, respect, unity, justice, fucking everything.
And they say we don't understand.
Dude.
Oh, you don't understand who I am.
About to walk off my own podcast,
bro. I told you by the end of it I'd be fucking pacing holding the microphone. Don't get me fucking started.
Golly.
Oh man, there's some places out there, man. Like we shouldn't get into that. I would end up fucking shutting a place down if I name drop. You know, there's some people in it for the fucking money. Be ashamed of yourselves. To be ashamed of your fucking self. We don't need to get into that out. Oh.
How's your day, Ben? Bro, I can't wait for the second workout. I'm fucking pissed. My shoulder hurts. I don't give a fuck, dude. Fuck you. I love you guys. I'm sorry.
We started out with. No, fuck that. Don't apologize. We started out with authenticity. By the way, if you're listening, I cannot fucking say that word. You're being authentic.
I guess. I don't know who the fuck I am. That's some fucking authenticity for you.
That's the best part of it. The best part of is not the end. It's the journey. It's not trying to figure out who you are today.
The experience.
It's using every day to figure out who you're gonna be. how you want to, who do you want to be when you leave this earth? What do you want to leave behind? I got kids, so you know. I think anybody with kids. That's. You're welcome. I single-handedly, well, I single-handedly with the mother, of course, put 4 people on this earth.
That's huge, bro.
I did my duty. We're gonna call that service work. Yeah. But you know, like to me, that question's only important to them. Who do I want to be when I leave this earth for them? What kind of life do I want to leave them? Shit like that. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, anybody who says, "Oh, I can't figure out who the fuck I am," why not? You have 24 hours in a day. You woke up today. Fucking do something to figure it out.
Bro, like,
take self-inventory. Step down and ask yourself the fucking real questions.
For me, it's real easy. I'm a person who seeks knowledge. I'm also scared. I'm also happy. I'm also. No, I'm
anybody in this world that says they're not scared of something. Bullshit. They're fucking lying to you, themselves.
I'm somebody who I'm a seeker of knowledge. I'm a seeker of self-growth. I'm a seeker of of purpose, of joy, of happiness. I'm someone that just wants to experience anything and everything of all that life has to offer, and along the way, I want to do my best on a day-by-day basis, hourly by hourly, minute by minute, to further human society as a whole. So one of the things that I have to do in order for that primary purpose of my life, of Alan McCoy's life, is I have to tell people the truth no matter what. If it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, but not fucking really, because I'd rather hurt your feelings with the truth than bury you with a lie, and you can take me to court. I don't give a fuck.
That part. Yeah. You want to be truthful with yourself, too. Yeah. If you're to be authentic, you're gonna have to tell yourself the truth. Tell them the truth. I mean, there's no room in this world anymore to sugarcoat shit.
Like if bad behaviors are happening that are hurting you in your life and preventing you from what people have told me that they want, I'm gonna fucking voice on the behaviors. I'm gonna be like, yo, you're acting like this. This is going against what you said you wanted to do. And who you wanted to be, and I'm gonna be accountable. I'm gonna be willing to be the voice of accountability in someone's life. That's who I am today.
Exactly.
Because because for me that's love. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, radical acceptance. That's love. I'm accepting somebody exactly. Like, I can accept somebody exactly how they are and love them, and at the same time, based on what they're telling me that their purpose in life is, to be able to be like, yo, this goes against who you say you are. This is a defect of your character, of who you told me you want to be. It's like a movie critic. I'm just sitting here in your movie critiquing yourself. I love you. You don't gotta change. You gotta change. You're perfect exactly how you are, baby.
I used to get fucking pissed when people told me the truth. But in fact, in reality, the ones that care about you the most is gonna fucking tell you, hey, bro, you're fucking up. This is not who you need to be. You need to stop. The most respect I have for people are the ones that got me there. Who the one that sat down and is like, hey, I'm going to tell you exactly what the fuck I think. I would rather you do that. I would rather you tell me, from your outside perspective, what it looks like to you I'm being.
I love you.
I love you too, bro. Hey. Record
player? I used to have a record player in here. A little USB one. But I got rid of it because I didn't have the fucking right power cord. Now I got 15 of the same power cord. Go figure. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle, ladies and gentlemen. Bazinga.
Name drop. Yeah, buddy.
Well, I mean,
you can't be scared of yourself.
No, you cannot.
more people like me today being me than I think. I mean, I got some people out there who just fucking can't stand me. Yeah. I've had some people like, oh, he's just envious of you. Why are you envious of me? You could be exactly like me or better.
Come on.
I don't know. It blows my mind.
But I mean, can't be scared to reach out. You know what I mean? If you're scared to just keep putting yourself out there and just and just unwilling to reach out, like the only person you're hurting is yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I want the best. I want people that are relentless, that are willing to go.
I want a motherfucker that's gonna come in there and see me in the bed and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Even if it's fucking like 11:40 o'clock dude. Like, yo, you laying down? Like, all right, sounds about right.
Yeah. You ain't working out today? Fuck. Fucking pussy.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's good shit. I love that.
Oh, shit.
Pain ain't shit, dude. Pain's something that bro, the 4 things that prevent people from getting and becoming who they want. 1, pain. 2 is I forgot, memory. 3 is the need for support. 4, thinking that this is stupid, this don't matter. Those are the 4 things that people think the most and that convince themselves to quit. If we can take out pain or the acknowledgement of pain in our lives, we can continue. If we can remember and actually not lie to ourselves, we can continue. If we can support ourselves and not need other people's validation, or whatever, and we can just be and just do everything ourselves, then we can continue. If we know and we believe that this matters, go figure, guess what? We can continue. Now, what the fuck else is blocking our way? Time? Okay, we just don't quit. We just keep moving forward. Don't give up, no matter what.
Time's the one thing that we have. Until you don't.
Doesn't matter if you're 8, 18, 48, 85. Move forward. Keep pushing. Do a push-up. Do a sit-up. Do a squat. Do a rollover.
Just get up and do something.
Anything.
Something. I mean, hell, if you don't like weights, I don't like fucking weights neither. They're heavy. Don't go to the gym,
dude. Oh my God, like my fucking shoulder today, dude. Yesterday, worked out shoulders.
I might have to be careful. That's gonna become an addiction soon.
Dude, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like yesterday, I worked out shoulders. Today, yesterday I worked out shoulders and had fucking little 5 foot tall fucking. I don't even know. I don't know. Vixen ain't the right word. Maybe demonic woman. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. I love her. I don't know her. She's about to pull my arm out.
We love you.
She's about to pull my arm out of my socket yesterday. And dude, like I get back on the mat and like she's there again. I'm like, fuck. I hope I don't get paired up with her. But instead, it's like a dude who's probably like 8 inches taller than me, probably another 60 pounds, more than me. And like I was like, fuck it. I ain't gonna stop. Like I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep improving myself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna continuously test my mettle against others. You know what I mean? In healthy ways. In the aspect of self growth. And like, like he saw me fucking kind of wince one time, and I was like, damn. Like he was like, yo, you good? I was like, yeah. I pulled my shoulder a little bit, and I fucking heavily sore. I was like, all right, we'll focus on the other side. And we just, like he worked with me, because like he didn't want to hurt me. If he would have hurt me, he would have fucking pulled my fucking arm out the socket. You know what I mean? No, he switched to the other side and fucking do. I mean, we got better. He taught me some shit. I taught him some shit.
Yeah, they're not gonna fucking. I've never been to a class like that where they're trying to hurt you. They're trying to teach you
self-control,
the discipline and self-control,
emotional balance.
The skill of it all.
I feel like we got far off topic, dude.
We got way
no, it's
off
not.
topic.
It's authentic. Fuck all.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
It's authentic to express how you feel. Actually, and that is one of the key components in being authentic is being able to express who you are, how you feel, and not be
I think you're number 12 pick, dog.
number 12. I'm gonna be 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. What the fuck you talking about?
Hell yeah. That's the attitude I like.
We got shit to say to this world. And some of it can fucking help people, some of it not. Some of it can be true, some of it can just be our own opinions. Most of it is our own opinions.
Fuck 'em. Listen anyways.
Shit. Don't get me started. I will in any fucking way answer anybody's questions. Try to do the best I can in my ability to help somebody out with everything I know. That is my purpose here. My purpose is to learn, grow, and pass on.
Yep.
You know, like other than that, all the material shit, all the fucking things we do with our life, that is for us. That is for us for enjoyment. The rest of it is to better the world.
Yeah.
What can we pass back? What can we do to help the next guy in line? You get so righteousness and fucking your sobriety and shit, and you get to the top and you're like, I fucking won. Well, first of all,
On what?
fuck
Who's
you.
up there with you?
Yeah, what did you
Lost
win?
the connection.
Because if you ask me, I don't ever want it to end. What the hell I want to be at the end for when the fucking journey is so amazing? You know, I want to keep being able to learn, keep being teachable, keep being taught the things that I don't know. I don't really ever think there is a win. If anybody says there is, I think they're fucking full of shit.
They've asked a bunch of millionaires and stuff, and like rich old people. Like, what would you? What would you? If you could do anything, what would you do? I'd go back and do it all again.
Yeah.
Just like, what do you mean? Like, I'd go back
you
and
mean?
struggle through all of that, all over again. Like, ooh, come on.
Come on.
It was like, you know, like falling in love with the struggle, like falling in love with the pain, the hurt, the growth. You know what I mean? Just the journey. The journey's the gift.
Pain is gain. Pain is where you fucking learn.
And I mean, damn, we about at 77 minutes, right about her. So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's more or less a fairly well spot to.
Well, that's 77 minutes of some shit somebody needs to
Facts.
listen to.
If you got anything else you want to leave any of the listeners with?
No, we'll save
Okay.
it. You know, I got time.
Hell yeah.
I got all the time in the world. So we can't let them know everything. Right now.
All right, y'all. I want to say thank you for listening. This has been Lee Bennett. We've been talking about authenticity and connection. I've been your host, DJ Alan McCoy. Thanks for joining me on Mental Breaks, spiritual podcast. Principles, values, character defects, character assets, you know, anything and everything. Thank y'all.